I was born in a very challenging way. I was born basically almost without vital signs. When my mom would pray, the nurses would see her praying, and they knew the seriousness of the situation, so they would maybe try to help her by saying, don't pray, we don't think he's gonna make it. What that did is just filled my mom with faith, and she went on her knees and just prayed and said, Lord, if you bring back life to my son, he will serve you for the rest of his days. And here we are. My name is Luis Vargas, and this is my story. Music has always been a part of me. I feel like it was always an expression, another language. I started studying piano and classical music. And then all of a sudden you hear funk music, gospel music, jazz, and my ear just got super captivated as well. I grew up in a very Christian environment where you just believe you're Christian because of your surroundings, because of the people that you grew up with, and because you go to church. You go to church and you're Christian, and I always kind of like desired a more powerful story, but my heart wasn't fully surrendered until 2007. A beautiful friend, pastor, and an incredible influence in my life. He said, Luis, it's beautiful to see you, but can I speak to you like a father, like honestly with love? Can I open my heart with you? And I said, of course. He basically just said, I would love to disciple you. I believe I became saved. The Lord saved my life in 2008. That's simply because it was a full surrender. It was a full surrender of my life, of things that I was hanging on to, and finally became real. At the end of November 2019, I started feeling a little bit sick. It got really, really bad, and I was home. But then by December 2nd, I was feeling way better. And then the next day, we were actually here at Crossroads recording a Christmas special with Paul Baloche. It's called Behold.
Is a shelter like no other, your name. Let the nation sing it louder.
That day I came and I was very sick. I was coughing a lot and just not well at all. And that day was very hard to get through. The next day, I went to my doctor and they diagnosed a full double pneumonia. And they gave me antibiotics. And my doctor said, I want to see you in 7 days. Each day on antibiotic, before seeing my doctor again, became a calvary. It was just awful. Worse and worse and worse. I started hallucinating, lost all sense of taste. I didn't know at the time, but I guess it was all the lack of oxygen. The next day, I was on an induced coma, intubated for several days. There was a time that it was very serious, very serious. I was 100% depending on those machines and the Lord. I thought it was going to be the end, or could have been the end. My wife didn't even bring her girls because she didn't want them to ever remember that if in case of anything bad happening. After several days of unknowns, and I was induced in a coma, so I had no idea what was going on. And then I remember kind of like waking up, coming back to life, and they said, okay, we're gonna remove the tube, and they did. And from that day, it was just improvement, like coming back to life. And then my wife starts telling me the reality of what really happened and how serious it was. And you're just trying to process everything and just to think about your kids. And then a huge perspective comes in your life, right, on what's really important. How can we settle for a passive Christian life, knowing that there is so much more to it and so much to gain? The Lord brought me back to life. Thankful to the Lord that we're here, and He had a bigger plan than that. Yeah.